All right, so we're gonna do something a little bit different today. If you are new to strength training, if you've never lifted weights or never really gotten into anything, I want to just take it right back to the very, very basics, because this does not have to be something hard. And I think the simplest way to do that, where I would start anybody, especially if you're working on your own, is let's just learn 2-3 movements. That's it. That's all you need to start. That's not a forever plan, but for the next couple months, if you can master those, get good at them, you'll be 10 times better than you were, and you'll have a lot of something to build off of. So here we go. We're going to start with, I've got a kettlebell here. You can use whatever you've got. You can use a barbell, dumbbell, sandbag, really anything. But we're going to just work with a kettlebell. It's simple. It's one of my favorite multi-use tools here. And we're going to start with a press. So there's 2 types of main pressing that I do. One is an overhead press, and then we can also do a laying on the floor and just a straight press from the floor. With an overhead press, a couple of main things I'm looking to go for is I want to have a good base with my feet. So even though I'm pressing with my shoulder, with my arm, I'm using my whole body to support me. So I've got a good base, pushing from the floor with my feet. I've got tension in my core here, and I'm going to keep my elbow in. This is really important, especially for people that have had kind of shoulder problems. Keep that elbow in. It's just a good safe practice. Press to the ceiling, strong, pushing that palm up towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to control the weight on the way down, reset, and I'm going to inhale, and then exhale up. Inhale again, exhale up. Again, pushing that arm up from the floor, and then I'm going to put the palm towards the ceiling. Good control on the way down. From the side, same thing. Exhale up, control on the way down. Powerful on the way up, control on the way down. So that is a very basic press. You can do that standing up. We can also do a version where I'm laying on the ground. And it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to keep that elbow in, and I'm just going to press the weight straight up towards the ceiling, back to my chest. And I want to keep this controlled and keep your elbow in. Not out here. Keep it in nice and tight and controlled. So the next thing we're going to work on is the opposite of it. We just did a pushing motion. Now we're going to do a pulling motion. So one of my favorites, kettlebell row. I typically do them here, but a great place to start is find something, a table, a bench, a rack, anything, and you can kind of use this for a little bit of support. You're going to stagger your stance, and then you're going to lean over and hinge so you can still maintain a flat back. Then I'm going to take that kettlebell, let my arm hang, and I'm going to come up towards the armpit and control it back down. Up, slight pause, control it back down. Up, back down. From the other side, same thing. Up and back down, up, back down. And then you can do lots of different versions of this. You can do 2 hands with double weights, same thing. It requires a lot more stability in the core though. So if you're just starting, I wouldn't start with that. You need to learn how to maintain this posture and create this stable base before you have this weight pulling you forward. But once you have that, you can do a staggered stance here. You can do 2 at a time, and you can build from there. So that's going to be our pulling exercise. So we've pushed, we've pulled. Now the third thing that we're going to do is a lunge. And I really like the reverse lunge, especially to start, because what we're doing, one of the goals of the lunge is trying to create stability. So I don't need to go super far back into the stance, and I don't even need to go all the way deep, especially if there's a lot of mobility things that might keep you from being able to do that at first. So just think of a nice tight stance, and then you go down as far as you can, come back up. And the whole time, I'm focusing on keeping this front leg. This is my only base. So I'm keeping my body stable with this. So I've got my weight bearing down on the middle of the foot. From the other side. And you can keep this, like I said, keep it tight. Start off shallow. You don't need to go all the way down. If you do eventually have more range of motion, sure, go down. But especially as I'm warming up, I don't try to make this a super deep lunge. And again, I'm just trying to keep that front foot. I've got a lot of pressure here, and that is what is keeping my whole body upright and stable. I can switch. I'm throwing the weight off each time, so this is a little bit more of a stability game. So lunge is one of my favorite. And I like that we're using each leg. I love squats, which are great, but the lunge really makes each side to equal amount of work. So those 3 exercises. Learn how to press. We're going to learn how to pull with the row. And then we're going to learn how to lunge. You can do one leg at a time. You can switch sides. And the whole time we're working on not just maybe the intensity we feel in the leg that's doing the work, but we're also trying to keep steady. So take those 3 things. If you haven't done strength training before, you can do this 2 or 3 times a week. It can be as little as 10 minutes. Do a few rounds and just slowly build. And as you get better, as you progress, then you can add more weight. You might just start right now with a lunge, just with body weight. You don't need much. And then once you feel pretty good, you're not wobbling, add a little weight. Do a couple more reps, add a little more weight. And that's how you can progress up. And like I said, you can do this for the next 2 months, 3 months, and then we can build from there. So if you got any questions, let me know. I'm here to help. I love this stuff. And yeah, let's keep moving. Thank you guys.